Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lotus D's channel. Wow, it is Wednesday already, guys. And it's the 2nd of July. So we have the holiday coming up, July 4th. I don't know what all you are up to, if you're going to get with family or friends, or just kind of like chill and binge TV or something like that. Whatever floats your boat, but please make some time to relax and just some time for yourself. We're kind of going to talk about that a little bit today. We had a little bit of time yesterday to talk about and speak to breathing meditation and how effective that can be. But I definitely want to talk about something that I've done more than I realize I've done it. It's called walking meditation. And it's just another way of relieving some stress. It helps your blood is starting to boil at work. And you have a moment coming up that you can take some time, then let's do that. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right. So thanks again for coming to sit with me here and unwinding today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've been to this channel for the first time, please also keep in mind that this channel is based on well-being, but we will get into some other things as we progress. I am a newbie YouTuber, so there's things that I still am working on to get to next as well. But all in all, it starts with you guys giving me comments and things of that nature and letting me know how you're feeling about certain consultations or information I'm dropping out here. So trying to keep that knowledge going always. But yes, so walking meditation. I think the biggest thing I want to point out is that how much it involves attention to the physical sensations that your body's going through. Have you ever sat down and said to yourself, "Man, that person just really pissed me off," and you could feel your body tensing up. You almost like see the color red because you're just like you go to the restroom because you got to get away from the situation. Well, walking meditation is not to get away and escape from something, but it definitely is to get away so you can relax. You can calm, center yourself. So your calmness should take on a calmness at some point. But it's actually helping you to remember to breathe again. And by steadying your breathing, believe it or not, it starts to relax you. And for those of you out there with high blood pressure and got other things going on, and let's just keep it 100 here on this site, because we will on this channel, there's a lot going on outside. There's a lot of darkness out there. And sometimes you're in your little bubble and you just want that light to shine as bright as possible. But at some point, something's going to seep in and make it turn from being bright to a dull gray. So, in that case, that's when you need to say to yourself, I'm going to take some time for myself, even this little bit of time. And it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. But for those of you who've never done this before, I would probably say to you, just take it for a minute. It could just be literally you walking to the restroom that's on the next floor, not the one that's right next to you. Just saying. Because the biggest thing is understanding the breathing treatment. So as I look down at my feet, the first thing I'm thinking about is how I'm planting my feet. All toes down, right? All toes on the ground. So there we go. So I'm standing still like this. But as I'm walking, I'm breathing. So I'm taking in and I'm releasing the next step. Taking in and I'm releasing on the next step. The thing that you do want to do, and this is really important, is that you make sure it's a peaceful area. So if you're doing it at work, it could be a little bit off-putting because you're going to get distracted by people saying, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, D, what's going on?" And you're like, "Oh, good." They're gonna be like, "What is she doing?" So wait till you get to a place where there's no one really at, or less people that probably know you. If you have a bench outside or you have a park around your building, wonderful. That's awesome. If you got to go to the car garage and act like you're going to your car, then go walk to your car. But just make sure you're getting out of your building, if at all possible. Okay? Because that's the most effective way of this really working for you is by walking. Do you have to do this at work? No. You can do it when you're off, of course. But I would say to you this part. There's so many times that we're going through struggles because someone said something or someone did something or you didn't file something or maybe that email was sent incorrectly or so-and-so is in a bad mood and she's taking it out on everybody there and you're so tired of it. Or you're just tired today, period, because you had a rough night. Whatever the reason may be, you have every right to Literally find a way to unwind, which is undo what is going on at that point, at that in here, in the mind, in the headspace. That's when you need to say to yourself, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and before I have my lunch, or maybe even after, but before I have my lunch, let's just say that, I'm gonna go ahead and walk outside for a good 10 minutes. And that's when you pause, when you step out, and that's when you start planting your feet. That's when you start breathing. If you get bored doing that because you're like, okay, I would always tell people when they first start off to do this because it does help you with your breathing by being conscientious of it. So you kind of like stay on track with your feet placement. But if you get off, someone walks up from nowhere and says, hey, you can get distracted for a minute and stop. The other part of this is please don't have your phones on. If you want to have it on vibrate, it's up to you. I purposely try to I leave it on vibrate and then it's usually not on my person at all. But depending on if I'm gonna do something after I've walked somewhere, it'll probably be in my pocket or it'll be, on a crossbody something, or I may have left it behind because I don't want to be distracted while I'm walking. But again, it's up to you. But I would say to you, don't answer, don't text. This is your time for you because what you're trying to do is not really vent to anyone what's going on. You're trying to to wrap your head around nothing, really. You're trying to wrap it around nothing. You're trying to wrap it around peace. You're trying to wrap it around tranquility. You're trying to wrap it around happiness. You're trying to, you're thinking of those things. You're thinking of this weekend, what you're going to do when you're off for a couple of days. A lot of you have long weekends coming up. So again, think of those things that bring you joy. Um, and then if you cannot do that, if you're having a hard time with that, because right now everything's coming at you, then you can do something. It's kind of silly, but I like doing it. You can start looking for certain colors. I know, right? But it keeps you kind of in a path of because you're not having to think about those other thoughts. So what's happening is instead of you thinking about those things that are bothersome to you, you're thinking about things that you're curious about. So you're like, oh, let's see what I can find that's red out here. Red color is always hard to find, right? Blue, of course, is another color, or green. You can start with red, go from red to blue, and then the green, then the yellow, whatever, however you wish to do it. But it does really work. It works for me because what it does is again, it takes my energy from that part that's bringing the darkness in, or, you know, dimming my light to bringing me back to bright. And it's necessary because when you take those breaks or you take your lunch, it's supposed to be for you. A lot of times, unfortunately, due to a lot of things, people tend to not think about themselves first. They think about the job, they think about the money they need. They think if you're working on salary, it's going to be the same paycheck, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you're working on commission, that's something totally different. But even then, how much more would you make probably in commission if you took some time to get yourself back in check? Find your grounding, if you will. Find your footing. Did you catch that footing? Because my hands are showing, but I mean your feet. But think about it, seriously. And then you can go back in there and go hard. And then you got 4 hours left for the day and you're out of there. Boom. That's it. So again, it's just an easy process, but as you're walking, and if you have to pause, you pause. And that's what I do. It has helped me tremendously, n- especially if I'm getting a conference call and I don't want to get on there and have a certain type of mood because so and so just set me off. And I'm just like, why did they even say that? Why did that have to come back to me today? And, instead of saying that, I'm like, well, you know what? I don't really care. I just had a lovely walk with nature and I got to see all the things. And maybe one of your neighbors next door, or someone else saw you on the way, or someone walking their dog, and the dog stopped to talk to you, as in, "Hey, pet me, please," and you bend over to do that. So, think of it that way. It takes you from a place. I mean, there's so much out there in this world today. There's trials going on, and new trials coming up, and distractions everywhere. But never be distracted too much that you can't remember to take care of you, even if it is only for a small amount of time. Of course, I would say to you, you need more than 5 minutes. You need more than 10, 15. You literally do. But that's neither here or there because I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to tell you and guide you to have hopefully a better life as a consultant, period. Okay. So, that being said, again, remember when you step, you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Okay. If you got to pause, you pause for a minute, you turn around and you walk the other way. That's how you do it. All right. Hopefully, you guys like that part. I really wanted to share that with you guys today because it's something that I feel is really important. And I will always continue to do the little tips and tricks that I do in order to keep my sanity. Someone asked me, how do you keep smiling? Sometimes it's hard, lots of stuff out there. It's dark outside. You know what I mean? So, to go out into it, you've got to be ready. Really, literally. Because it's not just spiritual thing going on out there. It's a lot of physical things, a lot of mental things. It's just a lot. It's a lot for us. The thing that I think I wanted to bring up too is just ensuring that, when it comes to like your your responsibility of where your mind's at, to always make sure that you are not doing self-defeating behaviors. So that was the other reason why I wanted to bring up the walking meditation, because a lot of times we can behave as though we love ourselves, but then we can talk down to ourselves as well. And I know that I've mentioned this before to you guys about, and you're probably going to get tired of it. Sorry, but not really sorry. There's a lot of times I hear people say things like, I'm stupid. I can't believe I did that. Or, damn, I'm so dumb. And I can't, why did I say that? What is wrong with me? Or even they'll drop the MF bomb. And I'm like, what? You call yourself that? No. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Just saying. Or self-defeating, that you didn't make something happen the way you wanted to, so you give up the first time you try something new. Don't do that to you. You deserve more. If you believed enough to try to do something that took you out of your comfort zone to get you there, then guess what you need to do? You need to try again. That's right. You need to try again to that point. And then the time you do it again, you might go, what? You know what? I like that idea, but I change it up a little bit. Then change it up a little bit. It's your life. No one should critique you in that manner. No one should judge you because you change your mind. But don't give up on yourself either. If you really put so much into it. It's like going on a test and getting certified for something and then never doing it. It's like me doing that and then never getting on YouTube like I want to. Yes, did it take me a minute? I'm not gonna lie, it did. But when I finally got on here and I said, I got one person subscribed, it was my mom. And I was like, thumbs up, mom. You know? And then after that, it was like, okay, how do I get more people? I want to generate this because I want to share this. And people always go, you just want this for that. I'm like, are you serious right now? No, man. Trust me. First things and first. First things first. I am a certified life coach. Okay. And I do consultations outside of this. I have other things going on outside of this. This is not my main focus. People are definitely something I'm passionate about. And everything I do is always service. So that gives a little bit different picture, right? But there are times, yeah, that I'm like, man, it'd be great that I could reach more people because I want to. You reach more people, you save more people. And I'm not out here to be a superhero, but I'm definitely here to tell you when no, you can't give up on yourself. And so no one else tells you that. I'm telling you that. Don't give up on you. I didn't give up on myself. If I'd given up on myself as many times as I've had to like backtrack and like I told you, pause and rewind is because I felt something in myself. Someone told me and I believed it, or I talked so much down on me that I believed it too. Now, I've done some brave things in these last 5 years after COVID. Well, it's been less than that. I like to count five, it feels like five. I'm just saying. It's about 5 years, 2020, 25. Okay, four, whatever. I know what I mean. The math ain't mathing in that. But anyway, the reality of it is that um, take time for you, please. And I'm loving the fact you're taking time to chill with me and just to sit back and just talk about, what can uplift you. We will discuss things that probably are a little bit deeper. However, at the same time, I will always try my best to bring you back to something that's going to bring you happiness or some type of peace because I don't want to end this on a bad note. We have a lot going on out there, like I mentioned earlier, and it's always time that we need for each other and for ourselves to take time to recognize that we are important. So, again, no defeating attitudes out there. Don't think of things that will take you there. Take that time to do those walks. Take those times to meditate, to bring you back your inner peace so you can get on with your day. And then, you know what? Relax. So keep the lights going. Right. All right. All right. Keep sparkling. I don't want to say that either because that sounds like glitter. So just keep smiling and keep living your best life and doing the things that make you happy. All right? Take care. Thanks for stopping by and don't forget to like and subscribe.